guys, we're back here. We finished the episode, finishing off small tasks.
I shall do it.
For let's turn this down. Crows and certain party or whatever it's called. But now we're going to the Dalish. Well, we're gonna fight first. Of course, you know.
For feasting.
Coming out.
Be wary. Somebody got caught in the web. I shall do it.
Looks like it was Wynn. Okay, I can't get through there. Nope. Okay. So here we go. Okay, I'm going. In the web.
Quickly, we must fight.
Okay.
It shall be done. I shall do it.
Can't go there yet. Follow the trap. Or trail. Almost said traps. Okay. This way. Nothing up there.
As you say.
Okay.
I shall do it.
Good so far? Good so far. On you go.
Very well.
They've been webbed.
It shall be done.
Okay. All right. Let's continue.
Stop right there, outsider. The Dalish have camped in this spot. I suggest you go elsewhere, and quickly.
Actually, I have been looking for the Dalish.
I find that hard to believe. What business could we Dalish possibly have with a group like yours?
I am a Grey Ward, and I wish to speak to your leader.
A Grey Warden? How do I know you're telling the truth?
Many people go about pretending to be Grey Wardens, do they?
No, that's true. Perhaps I shall let the Keeper decide for himself. In the camp, I suggest you keep your hands to yourself, and remember that our arrows are still trained on you. Follow me.
I see we have guests. And a hound amongst them. As if we haven't had enough problems with such creatures. Who are these strangers, Mithra? I have precious little patience and less time to spend on outsiders today.
This one claims to be a Grey Warden and wishes to speak with the clan. I thought it best to leave the decision to you.
That was wise of you. Masirinus, Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Zathrian, the keeper of this clan, its guide and preserver of our ancient lore. And you are?
My name is Alora. A pleasure to meet you.
Manners. From a Shemlin. Interesting. What might be your mission here? Have you come to spread news of the Blight? I had already sensed the corruption spreading in the south. The existence of the Blight is not news to me. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
Is there no way to help your men?
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself, and that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
I am good at non-trivial tasks.
Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
You said you could perhaps destroy the curse.
There is no guarantee that this will work, as I suspect. But it's the only hope we have left.
I will find this Witherfang for you.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
Okay. Witherfang is, according to Keeper Zathrin, a wolf. He is no ordinary wolf, however. He is a wolf possessed by a powerful spirit and the source of the werewolf curse that plagues the Brazilian forest. While Witherfang is hundreds of years old and very powerful in his own right, the only way to end the curse is to cut out his heart and bring it to Zathrin. Keeper Zathrian, even with all our magic and skill, we are only delaying the inevitable. It is said that the elves live in the Ferelden long before any others set foot there, and though most of their knowledge has been lost, it falls to the keeper of each clan to preserve what they have. Zathrian is an old, severe elf with little love for outsiders, but his clan is facing more trying enemies than most.
Underanitation, Grey Warden. My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls, all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Are you saying you can't imagine such a thing?
The few towns we have visited in my time have been small. I find it hard to visualize something so large and permanent. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
They're used to it, just as humans are.
Being accustomed to pain and suffering does not make it any less tragic. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
I don't pay much attention to it. It's history.
How quickly your people seem to forget. If it has not happened in their lifetime, it is a nebulous concept assigned to the past. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
Tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How'd you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I'm sorry, it must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
You said the Dalish rescued you from bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Let's see, didn't have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
Did they resent you for your success?
No. Zathrian told me that time would take away their prejudices, and it did. They became used to me. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
We're gonna ask this, but we're probably going to regret it later.
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
What is this Arathon you mentioned?
It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan. Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever.
Does Arathon still exist?
Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock.
But elves were eventually freed, right?
Yes, after a millennium of slavery, Andraste herself freed our people. She who was your maker's chosen.
But you don't worship the Maker.
We worship the creators, as we always have. We give thanks to Andraste for her part in our freedom, but we do not worship her, or her god.
Didn't Arathan fight back?
The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, they lost.
Elves were immortal then?
They died, but not of an aged body as other races do. Not until the humans came. According to the legends, association with humans caused us to quicken. Our blood sped, and we began to age. So we avoided them naturally. And then we were enslaved by them for 1,000 years. And in so doing, we all were quickened permanently and our immortality destroyed. Or so the old tales say.
But you couldn't get your span back, no?
In time and with seclusion. We Dalish have lengthy lifespans, and they will get longer. Zathrian himself has lived many centuries, though that is unusual even for us.
I can see why you resent humans then.
Shemlin, we call them. Quick children. I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no? Perhaps we should be more heedful of our own role in Arlathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for.
Your homeland was called the Dales, I thought.
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
Is there no way to get on your clan's good side?
It requires an individual to prove he is not the outsider we have come to expect. Your own task to help our clan is certainly a step in the right direction.
I want to ask something else.
Certainly.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family. A very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
I should go.
As you wish. Dareth Shiro.
So, already kind of heard all this, so I'm not going to read it. Okay, so we're here. Everybody move your foot. Ah, Lillian, your foot's getting peed on. Oh, shnikes.
Very well.
Okay. Vaseline, blood writings. When the children of our people came of age, they earned the privilege of wearing the Vaseline, the blood writing. It sets us apart from the Shemlin and from the elves who have thrown their lot in with them. It reminds us that we will never again surrender our traditions and beliefs. The ritual deserves great reverence. The one who is to gain the Vaseline must prepare by meditating on the gods and the way of our people, and by purifying the body and the skin. When the time comes, the keeper of the clan applies the blood writing. This is done in complete silence. Cries of pain are signs of weakness. If one cannot tolerate the pain of the blood writing, they are not ready to undertake the responsibility of an adult. The keeper may stop the ritual if they decide that the one gaining the Vaseline is not ready. There is no shame in this, for all children are different, and our ancestors once took centuries to come of age. As told by Gershal, keeper of the Relafrin, a clan of the Dalish elves. Hello, sir.
I'm Darren Atishan, stranger. I am Athras. I hope the others have not been too harsh in their treatment of you.
They have, and it's annoying. I have a job to do.
It is not our intention to insult the Grey Warden. We are simply wrapped up in the plight of our hunters. It is easy to forget simple niceties at such a time. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
Forbidden you?
We are banned from entering the forest now. I have more cause than most, but I will not disobey my keeper.
Why do you want to enter the forest?
That is a tale I am not sure I should tell an outsider. Surely you have greater concerns than my problems, stranger.
Please, I'd like to hear about it.
It's odd to talk so freely with a stranger, but perhaps you can help me. My wife Delilah and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Delilah is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Delilah is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
I will seek her out in the forest.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
And quests. That's all we need to add to our list. More quests. But hey.
It is begun.
I'm not talking to you. There's no need. Don't need to talk to you guys. We will go over here though.
It is begun.
Okay. Agonal, god of vengeance. Long ago, when time itself was young, the only thing in existence were the sun and the land. The sun, curious about the land, bowed his head closer to her body, and Agonal was born in the place where they touched. Excuse me. The sun and the land loved Agonal greatly, for he was beautiful and clever. As a gift to Agonal, the land brought forth great birds and beasts of the sky and forests, and all manners of the wonderful green things. Agonal loved his mother's gift and praised them highly and walked amongst them often. The sun, looking down upon the fruitful land, saw the joy that Agonal took in her works and grew jealous. Out of spite he shone his face full upon all the creatures the earth had created and burned them all to ash. The land cracked and split from bitterness and pain and cried salt tears for the loss of all she had wrought. The pool of tears cried for the land became the ocean, and the cracks in her body the first rivers and streams. Agana was furious at what his father had done and vowed vengeance. He lifted himself into the sky and wrestled the sun, determined to defeat him. They fought for an eternity, and eventually the sun grew weak while Agana's rage was unemptied. Eventually, Agana's threw the sun down from the sky and buried him in a deep abyss, creating by the land's sour. Oh God, forget it. With the sun gone, the world was covered in shadows, and all that remained in the sky were the reminders of Agana's battle with his father. Drops of sun's lifeblood, which twinkled and shimmered in the darkness. From the tale of Anna and the sun, as told by Gishara, keeper of Rennie, clan of the Dalish elves. Blah 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 blah. Some of these names are hard for me to pronounce, and if you know me, it doesn't take much for me to trip over my words. So. Come on.
It shall be done.
Alright, so the long walk. When our people left to venture, we had nothing except the knowledge that for the first time in countless centuries we were free. It was Shantan's dream that one day we would have our homeland where we could live as we choose. After the long struggles that claimed the lives of many, even Shartan himself, we were granted the Dales. And though the Dales were to the south of the land of Olay and a long way off from Deventer, it mattered little. We were going home, and so we walked. We called our journey the Long Walk, for that was what it was. We walked with what little we had on our backs. Some walked without shoes, for they had none. Whole families, women with infants, the old and the young alike, all of them made their way across the land on foot, and if one of our people could no longer walk, we carried him, or sometimes left him behind. Many perished along the way. Some died of exhaustion, others simply gave up and fell by the wayside. A great number were set upon by human bandits, even though we had a few possessions. Along the way, a growing number began to bemoan the decision to leave Deventer. At least in Deventer, they said, we had food and water and shelter. What do we have here? Nothing but the open sky and the prospects of the never-ending road ahead. Some turned back towards Deventer, but most of us continued walking. And the gods rewarded those of us who did not waver by bringing us to the Dales. Our people called the new city Hamshara, the end of the journey, and for a time it was home, as told by Gersha, the keeper of Rennie of the Dalish elves. Dermathan, keeper of secrets. The twin Faladin and Dermathan are the eldest children of Agana, the All-Father, and Mathal, the Protector. The brothers were inseparable from the moment of their conception, known for their great love for each other. That is why we often speak of Faladin in one breath and Derman the next, for they cannot bear to be apart, even in our tales. When the world was young, the gods often walked the earth, and Faladin and Dermathan were no exceptions. Both were delighted by the many wonders of our earth. They played with the animals, whispered to the trees, and bathed in the lakes and streams. Their days were filled with bliss, and they did not know sorrow. And then one day, while passing through the forest, Faladin and Dermot came across an old and sickly deer resting beneath a tree. "Why do you sit so still, little sister?" asked Faladin. "Play with us," said Dermot. "Alas," spoke the deer, "I cannot. I am old, and although I wish to go to my rest, my legs can no longer carry me." Taking pity on the deer, Faladin gathered her up into his arms and carried her to the rest beyond the veil. Dermotine tried to follow him, but the shifting gray paths beyond the veil would not let him. Separated from the first time from Faladin, Dermot wandered aimlessly till he came across two ravens. "You are lost, and soon you will fade," the raven named Fear said to Dermot. "Your brother has abandoned you and no longer loves you," said the other, named Deceit. "I am not lost, and Faladin has not abandoned me," replied Dermot. He subdued the ravens and bade them to carry. Sorry, I thought a vehicle pulled in. Let's see. "I am not lost, and Faladin's not abandoned me," replied Dermot's man. He subdued the raven and bade them to carry him to Faladin. They did, for they had been defeated and were now bound to Dermothane's service. When Dermothane found Faladin, he found also the deer, who once again was light on her feet, for her spirit was released from her weakened body. Both Faladin and Dermot rejoiced to see this. Faladin vowed that he would remain to carry all the dead to their place beyond, just as he did the deer. And Dermot stayed with him, for the twins cannot bear to be apart. From the story of Faladin and Dermot, as told by Girla, the keeper of Ravine clan of the Dalish elves.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Verathorn. I think I just used too much heat.
You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Verathorn.
And so they should. Truly the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest. Now then, please forgive my distraction, stranger. Is there something that you need?
If you don't know what Durgenlin is, it's dwarf. What exactly do you make here?
I'm the clan's craftsmaster. It's my responsibility to learn what I can of the ancient elven arts of shaping wood and ore. In truth, we Dalish know little of the art compared to what we once did. And even what we know has taken us many lifetimes to achieve. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel but far lighter. It grows only in this forest. Ironbark. The keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come.
What if I found some ironbark for you?
I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. Now, if you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you.
Very well. I will take a look when I'm in the forest.
That would please me, so long as our hunters come first.
Can I bargain with you?
I am no merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something here which will be of value to you.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I really don't need any more gifts, but what the heck? one moment, guys. I'm just gonna peer. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Audru, goddess of the hunt. Hear me, sons and daughters of the people. I am sister of the moon, mother of hares, lady of the hunt, Audru. Remember my teachings, remember the Ventahal, the way of 3 trees that I have given you. Asan, the way of the arrow, be swift and silent, strike true and do not waver, and let not your prey suffer, that is my way. Barbosin, the way of the bow, as the sapling bends, so must you. In yielding, find resilience. In policy, find strength. That is my way. Val Adonal, Aladin, the way of the world, wood. Receive the gifts of the hunt with mindfulness. Respect the sacrifice of my children. Know that your passing shall nourish them in return. That is my way. Remember the way of the hunter, and I shall be with you. From the charge of Audru, goddess of the hunt. Silas, the Hearthkeeper. Silas the Hearthkeeper is seen as the sister of Audru the Huntress. While Audru loves to run with the creatures of the wild, Silas prefers to stay by her home tree, occupying herself with gentle arts and song. It is Silas who gives us fire and taught us how to use it. It is Silas who showed us how to heal with herbs and with magic, and how to ease their passage of infants into this world. And again, it is Silas who shows us how to spin the fibers of plants into threads and rope. We owe much to Silas, and that is why we sing to her when we kindle the fires and when we put them out. That is why we sprinkle our aravels with Silas's fragrant tree moss, and ask that she protects them and all within, as told by Geralt, keeper of Ripping clan of the Dalish elves. Miss Morgs, must you? Okay, we're going here.
It shall be done.
Okay, June, god of craft. We dedicate all our crafts to June, for it is he who taught the people to bend the branches of trees to make our bowls, and to fashion coverings of furs and iron bark. Without June, we would have the aravels or the harnesses of our Hala. When the people were young, we wandered the forest without purpose. We drank from streams and ate berries and nuts that we could find. We did not hunt, for we had no bows. We wore nothing, for we had no knowledge of spinning or needlecraft. We shivered in the cold nights, and we went hungry through the winters, when all of the world was covered in ice and snow. Then Silas the Hearthkeeper came and gave us fire and taught us how to feed it with wood. June taught us to fashion bows and arrows and knives so that we could hunt. We learned to cook the flesh of creatures we hunted over Silas's fire, and we learned to clothe ourselves in their furs and skins. And the people were no longer cold and hungry. Okay. I believe we can't get that chest yet. Okay, and we'll talk to you in a bit.
I never thought I'd ever set foot in a Dalish camp. I must say, I thought the Dalish would be much harder to find. Do you think this clan let us find them?
How many do we have? 10.
Do
Two
we
more.
move these things through the forest? The trees just get out of their way, or what?
Oh, Lord Alistair. Like, seriously. Oh.
Those Hala certainly are proud and beautiful. It's as though they realize how special they are.
I hear only the Dalish can control the Hala. They listen to no one else.
There are places where those horns bring huge prices. Can cure diseases, so to say.
Perhaps. Galahine, mother of Hala. They say Galahine was one of the people in the days before Arthan and the chose of Adrul the Huntress. She was very beautiful, with her hair of snowy white and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Andural's way, and Adra favored her above all others. One day, while the hunter in the forest, Galen came across a hunter she did not know. At his feet laid a hawk, shoot through the heart by an arrow. Galen was filled with rage, for the hawk, along with the hare, is an animal much beloved by Adurl. Galen demanded that the hunter make an offering to Adurl in exchange for taking the life of one of her creatures. The hunter refused, and Galen called upon the goddess to curse him, so that he could never again hunt and kill a living creature. Galen's curse took hold, and the hunter found that he was unable to hunt. His prey would dart out of sight, and his arrows would fly astray. His friends and family began to mock him for his impotence, for what used to be a hunter who cannot hunt. Ashamed, the hunter swore he would find Galen and repay her for what she had done to him. He found Galen while she was out on a hunt with her sisters, and lured her away from them with lies and false words. He told Galen that he had learned his lesson and begged her to come with him, so that she could teach him to make a proper offering to Adrul. Moved by his pleas, Galen followed the hunter, and when they were away from all of her sisters, the hunter turned on Galen. He blinded her first, and then bounded her as one would bind a kill fresh from the hunt. Because he was cursed, the hunter could not kill her. Instead, he left her for dead in the forest. And Galena prayed to the gods for help. She prayed to Amnod for vengeance, to the mother Mathal to protect her, but above all she prayed to Adrul. Adrul set her hares to Galen, and they chewed through the ropes that bounded her. But Galen was still wounded and blind, and could not find her way home. So Adrul turned her into a beautiful white deer, the first of the Hala, and Galen found her way back to her sisters, and led them to the hunter who was brought to justice. And since that day the Hala have guided the people and have never led us astray, for they listened to the voice of Galen.
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the Hala, I did not hear your approach.
Who are you?
My name is Alora. I am the master herder in charge of caring for the Hala. Not as exciting as being a Grey Warden, but the Hala are vital to us.
What is a Hala?
They are the noble beasts that pull our Aravel. What humans call land ships. They are our companions and our guides.
My own people keep similar herds, but of horses.
I have seen your horses. The relationship is different, as is the purpose. We ride the Hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the Hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravel with them. In return, it's the herder's job to speak to the Hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship, and not servitude.
So why have you separated this one from the others?
I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand. The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal. And it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery. For her sake, as well as that of the others.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do, I would be grateful.
Try to calm the Hala.
Yes, that's it. She's calming down. That's it, love. Be calm. Tell me what troubles you. Ah, I see. It is her life mate who is sick, not her. He was bitten on the leg during the attack, and she fears greatly for him. I did not realize another Hala was injured. This will allow me to prevent the sickness from spreading to the entire herd. Masiranus, thank you. You have done my clan a great boon this day. I will always be grateful for your help.
Okay, let's see. Aravels. Let's see. The Dalish, who band together in small groups of blood relatives, travel in ornately carved wagons known as Aravel, drawn by large white stags called Hala. The Aravel are quite sight, beautiful in their swooping curvature and adorned with broad hoods and bright silken cloths that flap in the wind, often display the noble banners that once flew over the family's house. Most humans refer to the Aravels as landships, for in a strong wind it can often appear as if the elves travel in a long boat with sails high overhead to announce their arrival or warn others away. The Hala are unique to the elves, and any but elf handlers consider them ordinary and almost impossible to train. To the Dalish, they are noble beasts, superior in breeding to the horse. Certainly, most humans would agree that the Hala are as beautiful as the elves themselves. The fact that many imperial nobles maintain a bounty on Hala horns that find their way into Deventer is an affront the Dalish consider unforgivable. Few among us can claim to have seen the Dalish landships up close. Any humans who have seen them on the horizon does well to head the other way. Few Dalish clans take kindly to humans intruding on their camps, and more than one tale tells of troublemaking humans who found themselves mercilessly filled with Dalish arrows. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travel of a Chantley Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Hala. No creature is more revered by the Dalish than the Hala. No other animal has a god of its own. These white stags are much larger than ordinary deer, and the Dalish Hala keepers carve their antlers as they grow, making them curve into intricate designs. In ancient times, these stags are born elven knights into combat, but since the fall of Dales, they are used less as mounts and more to pull Aravels. Pretty sure that was it. And we finished that right off the bat. Let's save here. We got a few more things to do here. And why are you naked? For the love of God. Oh well. Fen-Harel, the Dread Wolf. There is precious little we know about Fen-Harel, for they say he did not care for our people. Agana and Mathal, created the world as we know it. Andrew taught us the ways of the hunter. Silas and June gave us fire and crafting, but Ferhel kept to himself and plotted the betrayal of all the gods. And after the destruction of Arathon, when the gods could no longer hear our prayers, it is said that Ferhel spent centuries in the far corners of the earth, giggling manly and hugging himself in glee. The legend says that before the fall of Arathon, the gods we know and revere fought an endless war with others of their kind. There is not a Hara among us who remember these others. Only in dreams do we hear whispers the names of Galaran and Derthral and Anus, for they are the forgotten ones, the gods of terror and spite and penitence. In the ancient times, only Ferhel could walk without fear among both our gods and the forgotten ones, for although he is king to the gods of the people, the forgotten ones knew of his cunning ways and saw him as one of their own. As that is how Ferhel tricked them, our gods saw him as a brother, and they trusted him when he said that they must keep to the heavens while he arranged a truce. And the Forgotten Ones trusted him also when he said that he would arrange for the defeat of our gods. If only the Forgotten Ones would return to the abyss for the time. They trusted Ferhel, and they were all of them betrayed. And Ferhel sealed them away so that he could never again walk among the people. From the tales of Fenrirel's triumphs, as told by Gunnishar, keeper of Rennie clan of the Dalish elves. It's a little more complicated than that, but
I shall do it.
they got a little bit of it.
Hello?
There's no need to be afraid of me.
Of course. I'm very sorry. It's just that we don't get many visitors. Like you, I mean. Of your kind.
Never seen a human before?
Oh, of course. It's just that they don't... I mean, you don't... Oh, I should start over.
Sure.
I'm Kamen, a hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
Why can't you?
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Try me, I might surprise you.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me. I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something.
Or something.
I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Hello, naked. Girl problems, I see.
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and
she's sitting
Gaina
there
will
naked.
never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
There must be a way to solve your problem.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
Perhaps I'll talk to Gaina for you.
I suppose you could, but what good would that do? The situation hasn't changed.
I can be pretty persuasive.
Really? I'm willing to try anything.
It can't hurt.
Cyranas. Oh, ma Cyranas. I will pray to the goddess of love that you are successful.
Alright, naked.
Andaran Atishan, outsider.
You're getting it correct. Cameron mentioned you.
You spoke to him? What did he say?
He said that you refused to give him your hand?
Oh. I don't expect an outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
Well, if you love him, it doesn't matter what he is, does it?
But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family?
If you love him, then believe in him and help him succeed.
Oh, you are right. I have made poor Kamen miserable. No wonder he cannot complete his hunt. Masiranas, thank you. You have helped me put this into perspective. I will go and speak to Kamen.
Might want to put some clothes on
Kamen,
first.
I have been a fool.
Gaina? What do you mean? Have you changed your mind?
Glitch.
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today.
Kissy. Kissy.
We are both very grateful for the part you played in bringing us together.
How marvelous you
Oh,
are.
Morgs.
I'm so happy.
This is so wonderful. Young love allowed to flourish.
Here, take this. It's been in my family for a very long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn. It's the very least we could do.
Bye-bye. Alright, guys. When we come back, we'll go over here and talk to our last one. We'll read this first. In the days after the rising of Zekel, the Dark One covered every corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Evelyn alike. In the far north, where the hills wandered the plains and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands which the Shemlin called Andafels, a clan of our people lived, struggled to survive the blight. Aloran was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days. Crafty as any wolf, he led his people away just ahead of the Darkspawn who chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hala cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Meriden, the Darkspawn cornered Aloran's clan. That night the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by dread mists that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up and from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked, but Aloran had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strewed dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of the rustling footfalls began, Aloran and the other Harlan called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their targets all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Aloran's clan. From the tales of Aloran written by Zathrian, as it's been passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. And where'd it go? I know there's the book here. There it is. Fire, right? Perfect. Okay, so that's done. So again, we're going to end this episode right here, and then we'll come back, we'll talk to him, and then head out to the forest. See you guys in the next episode. Bye now.